How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be answering the question, how to ask better questions. And I had this question, well, it wasn't really a question, it was more of an epiphany when I was doing my live streams, which I do every day between 5 and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I normally do them every weekday, so if you guys want to catch the live stream and ask me questions on live, make sure you guys check out that live streams that I do every day. But you know, one thing that I noticed with a lot of the questions I get asked, which are getting better because I told my guys this that watch live streams, is that you have to know how to ask better questions for people who want to talk to you. At the end of the day, guys, people are very selfish, especially nowadays. People do not feel heard. So whenever you're talking to somebody, you're having a conversation with somebody, you'll notice that they're always waiting for you to finish so they can jump in and say something. Because people don't really have an outlet for them to speak, because people don't really know how to have conversations anymore. Mainly because of our cell phones, we don't really interact with people very much, so people don't have very good speaking skills or listening skills. So if you know how to ask good questions, everybody's gonna love you. So today I'm gonna tell you guys how to ask better questions, and I got a lot of this knowledge, guys, from this book called How to Find Out Anything from Anyone, Anytime. If you guys look that up on Amazon, you'll be able to find it and pick up the book. It's from an ex-CIA interrogator, I believe, or FBI interrogator, and he's very good at interrogating people and getting information from them. So I learned a lot of these techniques from him, and it's actually really helped my entire life because I'm able to communicate with people better and make them like me a lot, mainly because I just ask good questions, and I'm actually curious about who they are. So the first thing is that you have to become curious. You have to want to talk to people and get to know them. Okay, and this is very difficult, especially for guys that want to just do one thing. Like, okay, so like imagine you're talking to a beautiful woman, right? The best thing to do with that beautiful woman is not try to let her know how much money you have. It's to be interested in her and be curious about who she is and what got her to the point where she's there in front of you talking to you. So that is my mentality going into any conversation. When I'm talking to a person, I'm always like, what is their story? What makes them unique? What have they been through? Because people are very, very extremely interesting. You gotta just listen to them. So you have to go into every conversation as a curious person. The second thing you wanna do is you wanna ask questions that start with who, what, where, why, and when. Never start a question that can be answered with a yes or no, because that's gonna end the conversation. Okay, they're not really gonna give you anything else. So you have to be able to give people a question that's gonna let them expand on that answer so you can get a lot of the information you need to piece together a beautiful conversation. Okay, so whenever I'm talking to them on my live streams, now you guys do it very well because I told you guys how to do this on the live stream. You guys ask me deep questions that I'm like excited to answer, and I'm happy to answer because I'm like, man, you guys are asking good questions about things that you guys want to know about me or things that you guys are curious about. So I love it, right? So imagine how you're going to make somebody else feel. Imagine you're having a conversation with somebody and they're just asking you about yourself, and you're just talking about who you are, what your interests are. You're going to like that person because you're like, man, this person actually cares about what I have to say. So you want to ask questions with who, what, where, why, and when, because those, when you start a question with those 5 words, then those people can answer in a more broad sense. Now imagine if I asked you, are you from Mexico? You'll say yes or no, right? But imagine if I asked you, what did you like the most about living in Mexico? Right? And then I'll be able to say something like, oh my God, like let me tell you about the weather, like it's beautiful, it's tropical, it's like, oh my God, the seafood is amazing, like I can't find seafood anywhere like that. And then I would be like, well, what kind of seafood is the best down in Mexico? Oh man, the squid, the calamari, the oysters, bro, that, you know what I mean? So you get to know exactly what kind of seafood I like. You know that I like tropical weather. You know that I'm very into beaches and just because I answered that question like that. So you get a lot of information. You can keep the conversation going because of it. So I want you guys to learn how to ask better questions so you guys have better conversations with people and you guys are better liked. And you guys can ask me better questions because I love it. I love answering these questions for you guys and leaving these videos up so everybody can learn from them. But you do have to learn the basics, which is the basics of asking a good question is to be curious and to ask questions that start with who, what, where, why, when, and how. If you can do that, you'll be pretty much ahead of 99% of everybody out there because everybody just asks basic ass questions. They don't even ask questions. Normally they just wait for you to shut up so they can talk, okay, which is fine. For me, I actually like listening to people. I like to interact with people. Normally, I don't really talk too much because I like to get to know them. I like to see what makes them tick. I like to hear their story, where they're from, all that. I love that. So for me, it's actually a good thing that people love to talk about themselves because I love learning about people. So not a big deal for me. But you are going to notice when you start doing this and you start really improving on your or question asking skills, that you might get annoyed because you'll realize that you're asking all the questions and not asking you anything back. And normally it's fine. Normally it's no big deal. The only time it's a problem is when you are wanting to be in a romantic relationship with somebody or somebody you like. Because, okay, so let me put this, how am I going to put this? Whenever you want to be in a relationship with somebody and the person is not interested in who you are and what makes you tick, that might be a problem because that means I don't really care about who you are. Okay, so it might be good, it might be bad, but you know that somebody actually is interested in you because they asked you questions back. And it's up to you whether or not you want to answer them. I like to be more mysterious and I don't really like talking about myself too much, but you know, that is a sign that somebody might not be right for you if they're not asking you questions. So something to think about, but whenever you're interacting with somebody, just in casual conversation, that's the best way to do it, is just ask them questions about who they are, questions that they can expand on, and just be curious about who they are, and you're going to be having a pretty good conversation. Okay, if you guys like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps get the community growing, and also if you found this information valuable, go to the PayPal link in the description below and donate whatever value you find equal to the information that I just gave you. Thanks so much for watching. Like always, take care. Do it again. Just fuck around, move around.
It's go time! Yeah, guys. Today I'm talking about this racket. Yeah, see this guy?
Think that again. Just fuck around, move around.
It's go time! Go time!
Yep.